Right, moving on to the AI landscape. So here are the main three layers of interactions or in with the AI world. One on the left-hand side is data and GPU, which we all know by now. NVIDIA is top of the game. In the middle, we have models and platform, where we have a few more players in here, mainly Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic, and other well-known players. But on the right-hand side is where most of us will be fighting, will be competing with other people or working with other people, other companies. The service layer is still an untapped area. It hasn't really got the dominance. I mean, essentially, it's the biggest one out there, or biggest well-known name out there right now. Even IBM is not competing with. It's not comparable to Accenture at 6%. Now, 86% of other players out there, there'll be you and me. There'll be people who are trying to get a piece of the pie, understanding what AI can do and how we can leverage the models and performance and GPUs to create better value for users that those companies cannot. Think about it. They are platform providers, they're model providers. Their main target customers are us, right? Not really the end users. They might have in the end users market like Microsoft and OpenAI, they might do. But at the end of the day, is there are a lot more ideas and innovations out there besides those big corporates and big companies. So on the right hand side, where services, services pie is a second is where I would think most of us will be focusing on. And A16Z has very, very gratefully uh, created this landscape for us. It's very new. It's this year. I think it's February. So I've included a link on the bottom left-hand corner. As you can see, the top 50 Gen AI web products are on the right-hand side. And 4 out of the top 10 are general assistant related. And the rest of them is almost unheard of. I mean, yes, I might recognize some of the names, but it is actually quite hard to understand what else do they do. I mean, on the left hand side, there are different categories, break down into different categories and the fierceness of that category. But it's not. It is worth noting that 4 out of the top 10 are general assistants on the web product side. And the next big category in the top 10 is companion. So I mean, to be honest, I've never used it. The character AI or generator AI, I assume it's like sort of like a personal assistant thing, where you can ask for certain part of. I've used Pi. It's more like a companion that you can talk to about yourself and about your feeling and all that. So that's the companion category. And Poe, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, they are the generic assistants where you go and ask for random things. You can do almost everything for you. And you can tell the most concentrated area is actually in the general assistant category on the web front. So how about the app? So if you look at the app, even more names that I don't recognize. Um, I mean, I've been quite close to some of the newcomers and upcoming and all the great tools out there that's been trying to make a name. But I mean, this is top 50, and a lot of them, I would say, at least half of them I've never heard of. Of course, like all the top 10, I know a few. But again, it's interesting to see AI mobile apps. The top usage are still around the general assistant area. And this is where you can see what people are trying to do with their mobile. When you're planning for an AI app, you can have a look at this and see, okay, where are people seeing most value when it comes to AI on their mobile phones? I truly believe that ChatGPT, Bing, Perplexity, all those general assistants app and tools are going to replace browser, going to replace how we browse the web at the moment. Just imagine it's got all the answers you need within the app without having to go through searches, go through clicking the link and then not finding it useful at all, and then going back to the search page and then find the next one and then find the next one. So all of those has done those jobs for you, and it will be the most comprehensive um, knowledge base that you will have, combining search results, Wikipedias, and other well-known websites and sightings. But interestingly, for the next category, there are two in the EdTech category. I'm actually surprised not to see Duolingo on there. I don't know why, but people seems to be using the mobile for educational purposes more than using the website browser as the main education go-to within AI space anyway. So I think it's definitely an interesting space to look at, especially for apps like Photomath. Um, Instead of like browsing through textbooks and theories and tutorial videos, etc., you can just take a picture and tell you how you should do things and why is it wrong and why is it correct and how you can improve, etc. So edtech is a category that is not seen in the desktop area, and it's actually quite prominent and quite heavily used within app space. So lastly, two from the top 10 again is the content generation, which makes sense, where you'll be creating content through your mobile phone, your Instagram, and TikTok and other social media content be probably be taken on the mobile phone and then edit on the mobile phone and then publish within the same ecosystem on your mobile. So you might be asking the question, well, I want a piece of that and I want to create an AI product. Where do I start? Well, first of all, I need to ask you a question. What is your goal? Right now, when you're watching this video, are you looking to have a proof of concept? Are you going to create value using AI within your business, within yourself? Are you looking at understanding how it works and understand the untapped potential, or be the disruptive force? From top to bottom is about how you can start. It's different. So if you just want a proof of concept, I would say you can start tomorrow using ChatGPT and other AI models on the market right now, and then start playing around with it. For example, ChatGPT custom bots or OpenAI Assistant Playground are very powerful. You can also use Zapier. You can use other no code tools out there to join up different operations with the OpenAI API or other AI APIs to input your request and output an AI response. So all of those can be done very easily within a week as proof of concept. Like even a chatbot, building a chatbot takes less than a week now. So you don't really have to build your own thing. You don't have to build it from scratch. When someone comes to you and say, well, I'm going to build you an AI model for your AI use in customer services, the one thing you need to question them is, do I need to? Because there's so many off-the-shelf softwares right now that can do it within days. And then next is creating value using AI. Um, this is a more complicated question because you have to understand what your users value. What I mean by saying this is the pain points. Do you understand the pain point? Do you understand the jobs to be done? Where do they value an AI in helping them during the user journey while interacting with your business or your websites or your app? So if you're going down this route of creating value using AI, I'll probably ask you to stop and go to the next lesson or or make sure that you attend next lesson, because next lesson is all about creating AI products, creating AI offerings, understanding user product discovery. And thirdly, if you're here to understand how it works and understand the untapped potential, then I'll probably say, okay, now you should go into Hugging Face. Now you should go into use Jupyter or learn a little bit of Python and start playing around with it and understand how to train a model. Those are the areas that you can start by yourself. Um, Use your own computer. You don't need a team to do it. If you're a technical person, there are a lot of information out there and resources out there, very up to date, open source, closed source. I mean, even just using ChatGPT, you can learn a lot from using ChatGPT, the paid version, not the unpaid version. Try to create your own bot. Try to put it out into public market. Try to, ask people to play around with it, understand how it interact with other people than yourself. How do you actually instruct the chatbot to have the optimal results? But of course, there are quite a few different tools like Google Colab and Google ML, where you can actually use it for free and start training your own models as well. Get into the coding side, get into the nitty details of how you can actually build an AI model. It's going to cost you money. It's not. Some of them are free to a certain extent, but if you do want to get into the rabbit hole of understanding how it all works and how you can build a model for your company, for yourself as a side project or anything else with your own name stamp on that AI model, it's going to cost you money. Maybe a small amount, but yeah, money nonetheless. ChatGPT API is one of the cheapest out there. You can start with $10. You can even use iPhone shortcut, Apple shortcut. Apple shortcut is actually quite a good way to put your programming together without doing the programming. It's a learning curve itself. I'm using one of the shortcuts combining with an OpenAI API where I can record of my thoughts and it will just create uh, uh, an AI sort of edited version of it, so I can just put all my messy thoughts together, and then it will come out with a nice paragraph saying, "Oh, this is all your thoughts, and this is how I can make it nicer and easier to read and understand." Um, and lastly, be the disruptive force. Of course, this is sort of like the one-shot level for most people. Not saying that you can't do it, but it is going to require a lot of resources, a lot of know-how, a lot of money as well, because it's not about creating, but also maintaining the ML ops. And sort of like, make sure the accuracy is stable, making sure that your the service is up and running, the latency, the health, system health, etc., etc. So if you're going down that road, um, I'd say you need a more technical course than this one. While I can touch on certain aspect of how to build the solution architect, I'll touch on all of those, how you can use RAG, etc. But all of these will probably require an ML engineer and a team of data scientists. So you need to start thinking your talent stack to understand how to be a disruptive force. Besides just having an idea or understanding how AI works, it is about the supporting the talent and talent stack, hiring people in the ML space and AI space who knows what they're doing, especially from the engineering side. It's very difficult right now. Not many people can actually do it. So there are the reasons why you need to build your own model as well, besides your goal, besides being a disruptive force or just just the curiosity. Number one reason is ownership. For business, if you build your own, uh, you're going to own it. It's yours. You can then resell to other people. You can, if you're a data science company, you might want to build your own model based on some foundation models out there. So you can actually use it and implement with your client. So you can actually own that and say, well, this is mine now, and you've got to pay me for using it, rather than pushing it to OpenAI or other models out there. Secondly is data privacy and security. Is a huge debate on sending data to companies who are training their model and then sell it back to you. So and also there are different data privacy uh, regulations, compliance issues out there as well. So if you don't want to get into the muddy water of data and security, privacy and security, you might want to um, um, get to build your own model, like Salesforce. Salesforce is building its own model called Einstein, purely because it's got so much PII, personal identifier information on their systems. It's very risky to send it off to someone else or give it to ChatGPT or OpenAI to analyze it and come back. So that's your use case of having uh, having to build your own model because of data issues. Next is competitive advantage. Of course, using Salesforce as an example again, by introducing AI into the very sophisticated CRM system already, is actually helping them to build a competitive advantage compared to other CRMs out there. Give people more reasons to use Salesforce, give them a little bit more money, and then you can access the latest AI model to help you in lead generations in your CRM activities. So if you want to stand out from the competition, you have to create the advantage. And owning your own AI model is one of the ways. Um, Last but not least, no products in the market covers your needs. So that's not so common right now because of Gen AI, but in machine learning world, back say 5, 6, or even 10 years ago, machine learning is actually quite a focused model where it only does one thing really well. For example, personalization for content, news. Uh, when I was working for Yahoo, we had to build our own ML model because there's nothing out there that is the same. No one else is out there to offer a similar product for us to create better engagement through personalized content. So if the market doesn't have what you need, for example, you're a drug company, you're discovering new drugs, or you are a health company trying to help your users um, to diagnose the symptoms better. Say Babylon. If you're Babylon, then you might want to build your own AI model to understand your own customer data, your own customer segment better, rather than relying on generic data sets that's being collected from all over the world, not UK specific. So this is where you might need to start thinking about, okay, I need my own data model. So what's the use case from drug discovery to maybe you're solving logistic issues, how to speed up the logistic efficiencies, improve the efficiencies and effectiveness, to cybersecurity is another area that AI um, has a huge role to play. Chatbots, video editing, sound editing, creating music. So what are your use cases? Hugely depends on what AI model you need, how do you deploy it, and what do you do with it.